Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about the hidden gold in your database and how to reactivate old leads. Now, before we get into reactivating those old leads, first we need to talk about how they get there. Very simple. The vast majority of leads that come into your business are not ready or do not have the right information to make a buying decision. It's a good 60 to 70% of all your inbound traffic. It's a crazy big number. However, the reason they don't convert is because they don't have enough information or aren't ready to buy it. It's that simple. And what happens? If they come in, you speak to them a few times, they get a few touch points, a few follow-ups, maybe a few months pass, but they still don't buy. Why? Again, they may not be ready. But that doesn't mean they'll never be ready. That doesn't mean they'll never be aware of the problem that they have that you can solve. So what's the solution? You need to dive into the database. If you're sick of paying for more leads, spending more and more money to acquire more and more customers, because the cost to acquire leads is only ever going to increase, look to what you already have. Look to the database that your business has been building over how many years you've been operating. It is the best way and the fastest way, in my opinion, to generate immediate revenue and sales opportunities. Now, how do you do that? You simply re-engage the lead. Don't sell the product or the service or the solution. Don't sell the appointment. Simply sell the reply. So reach out to them. SMS works the best, but you can email, you can try call them again. Reach out and just get the conversation starting. That's all you need. And you do that with all of your old leads, all of your dead leads. You have a few warm conversations. Have the conversations. Ask probing questions to see exactly what their problem is and where they're at in the buying stage. And then if you can help them, propose the next step, which would be an appointment or a strategy session or a phone call or a consultation or a quote. Whatever that next step is, suggest it after they've told you where they're sitting. Now, I want to explain a case study that I have of a client of mine who generated revenue from the leads that they had given up on and forgotten to follow up. To emphasize my point that there's money in the database. You just need to know where to look and how to pull it out. So let's jump into it. Client's name is Glennis. They've been operating since 2019, so 5 years of operation. And over that time, they've spent a little bit on paid advertising. Actually, quite a bit. And they're in the home services, blue collar industry. And they had about 3,000 old leads between 2019 and today, end of 2024, that had been spoken to, had received a quote, but had not purchased. And that's the key. They haven't gone ahead yet, for whatever reason. When I was consulting Glennis and her business, the first thing I said was there's opportunity sitting there. We just have to pull it out. Now, you're spending thousands of dollars on new leads, fresh advertising, fresh leads. Sure, that's great. But what about what's sitting in the back of your database? So how did we pull it out? Exactly how I explained it in the beginning. We reached out to all those 3,000 odd leads. We used the SMS because it gets the highest reply rate. And again, all we want is a reply. We don't want to sell the appointment, sell the quote, sell the job. Sell the reply first, then have the conversation, and then get to the next step. Okay? It's a very important process to follow. Now, there's two ways to do this. The pre-current date, which is all manual conversation. Someone monitors the text messages, messages everybody, has all those live conversations. Or B, which is what we did for Glennis, was set up an AI assistant to manage those conversations, qualify those leads, and turn them into fresh sales opportunities for her business in the form of requesting a quote. Now, what was the result of this? It generated 33 sales opportunities. 33 people requested a quote from Glennis. So that's 33 more opportunities that she'd already paid for that was sitting in the back of the database. Now, not all of them closed. Some of them are still pending. Only about $20,000 to $22,000 of cash was actually collected. However, what would you do with an extra 33 opportunities to generate more revenue for your business from leads you've already paid for, from leads you've already got sitting in the database, from leads you don't have to worry about paying for? Now, what about the leads that have replied but said they weren't ready to go ahead yet? You might be thinking that's a bit of a waste of time. Well, in actual reality, it's not. It's still a positive outcome. Why? Because again, think back to the buying stages. If someone doesn't buy, it's because they're not ready, they don't have the right information, or they're not aware they have a problem. So by them replying and you still having that conversation and you still making that touch point, you're building up their trust in you and your company so that when they do become ready, they remember the last person I spoke to about this service, mowing lawns, hairdressing, whatever it is, was this business. Yeah, I wasn't ready then, but when I am ready and when it does come to my mind, who's the first person to think of? That business. Make those touch points. 10, 20, 30, 50 touch points, emails, text messages. Always, always, always be at the top of your customer's mind, because at some point they're going to be ready to buy, and when they're ready to buy, you want them to buy from you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one.